Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you are very welcome to join us. I have a few things on the go for you today. We'll be coloring out of Tabitha L. Barnett's Broken Circles. This is her first Broken Circle book. I've got a special St. Patrick's Day picture in there that I've chosen to do. If you have not already signed up to join the contest that Tabby is offering a free PDF of one of her books that you will choose for the winner. So go on over there, and I'll leave the link down below. It's my video that I did not too long ago called Announcement, and in there is what the rules for the contest. It's open to everyone, and go sign up and do what you need to do and put your name in so that you can win this wonderful prize that Tabitha has given to us. So, on with what else we're doing. First of all, I'm going to be doing the Scavenger Hunt Extreme Edition, I believe it's called, which was started by Danny Buttons. I was tagged by two people. I was tagged by Ren's Coloring Craze, and I was tagged by AngeDon41 on Instagram. So we'll start with that. We'll do some coloring, and before we go, I'm going to show you what's in my coloring bag for this month. So, excuse the reach while I grab my drink and put it in the proper place so I can reach it. And let's set this aside and let's take a look at the books that I found my items in for the top 10. Now, if you'd like to see me color in any of these books that I show you, just let me know down below. You can just let me know you'd like to see them in a coloring chat, and I'll be more than happy to do that. So the first thing we had to find was a map. And I didn't think I had many maps except the big ones at the beginning of books. But then I remembered a page in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, and it was of the Wonder Room. I've already colored this page, but if you can see over here, there are two maps that are rolled up, and they're very clearly maps. So that is my find for map. Then the next thing we had to find was eggs. Now, I thought about eggs and I wasn't too sure. I looked through a few books that could possibly have eggs. And then I remembered this book. This is a bunch of old advertising. It's a Coloriage Mystère book. And I thought, surely there's got to be an ad in there for fresh eggs. And lo and behold, here we have it. Lestu Crew, fresh eggs. So there's the eggs being poured into the barrel. Looks like she's going to have a lot of broken eggs doing that, though. So there we go. That's my egg one. I think I found something a little different than anybody else picked for that one. Then, next up, we had to find a hair bun. Well, I knew there was going to be one in here, so I started at the beginning, started turning the pages, and like 3 pages in, we found Cinderella with her hair up in a massive hair bun. I guess I should be taking these out. Sorry about that, but if I don't do it now, they'll be in there forever. Then the next one was a full moon, I believe, and I knew right away that I was going to look in this book for a full moon. This is one of my 10 books to finish this year. And there we go. We have a full moon in this picture that I colored. So now I have 5 pages left to go in this book, so next month I will be finishing that one. And then the next one was birch trees, and I already colored a picture in here that had, or a couple of pictures in here that had birch trees, so I thought there's gotta be another birch tree in there. And yes, indeed there was. Here we have birch trees in the background. And then we had to find a motorcycle, and I searched through a whole bunch of books and I couldn't find any. And so I had to resort to the Chibi Girl motorcycle. Yes, folks, I could not find anything else. Not even a moped could I find. So here we go. That was my hard one. And yes, I hang my head in shame. I did choose the Chibi Girl. Then we had bananas, and I knew exactly the book to look in for bananas. But besides this picture on the front, which I couldn't find, I didn't look all the way to the end, but I turned like more than halfway through this book before I found a banana. And here we have our little guy, kind of a little ugly guy, reaching for his bananas up there. Well, I guess he's not reaching, that's a leaf. He's just staring at them. So yeah, it actually was hard to find a banana in this page. I found one in the page right before it, with the lady in her tropical hat, but I thought, oh, there has to be something a little bit more original than that. Turned the page, and there were my bananas. So that was the hardest one for me, besides the motorcycle, which I gotta say was the toughest. And then we had to find a key, and I knew there was a key in here, or there probably is more than one key, but I colored this 2-page spread in here. I'm not going to show it to you, but oh, turn the page. Yeah, it has a gate here, and I know there was a lock on it because I remember this page right here. So I thought, well, there has to be a key for it. So I continued looking, and not too far away was this tiny little key right there. So hey, there's eggs there too. So there's a key, and there's eggs in case anybody's looking for them. Next one was a sport, and I knew this book had pictures of the mice, some of the mice children playing together, and I thought, well, there's got to be a sport in there, and I searched through the book, got pretty close to the end, and I found them playing basketball, so it even is a real team sport. This is Nice Little Town 10. Then we had to find an otter, and this was a tough one for me. And finally, I came to a picture in here which I'm not 100% sure it's an otter, but I'm calling it an otter. And that's this picture right here. Now, I was thinking at first that he looks like a beaver, but there's no tail and there's no teeth, so he can't be. He's got to be an otter, and that is what he is to me. So there's my otter, and this is in Rita Berman's Spring spring walk. And finally, an outfit that we would like to wear. So I picked out Springtime by Deborah Muller, had a look through, and I found exactly what I would like to wear. And that is this outfit right here. Except for in winter, I always wear dresses like this. Well, not exactly like that, but I like to wear just, what is that called, an A-line dress. You know, the skirt goes out. And you can find me wearing a dress all the time. And if I can go barefoot, I will be barefoot because I hate wearing socks and shoes. So yes, the perfect outfit for me. And I even like to put my hair up in ponytails and pigtails in the summer. So good picture for me. That is the outfit that I would like to wear, and that was the bonus question. So aside from my miserable representation of a motorcycle, I completed that challenge quite well, I think. So I'm just going to put the books back. The only problem with tags like this one is that you have to pull books off your shelves and then you have to go put them back. That's the part I don't like so much. Oh, it seems like I'm always pulling books off the shelf and putting them back on the shelf. So let's get to our St. Patrick's Day. Now I just need to get my swatch book here and turn to my markers. Where are they? There we go. So I will be doing this in Spectrum Noirs and Ohuhus, possibly a Touch New or an Adaxi. Those are what I'm currently using at the moment. So I like to do these by completing each portion at a time, and if a person reaches up to a portion, then they get done with that portion. So we are starting up here with the rainbow. We've got 3 colors, so why don't we go with red, blue, and pink. So, CR9. So there's my red. Here's a blue. Oh, the blues are in tight there. There's the blue, and what other color did I say? Oh yeah, pink. Let's go with a light pink. There's that begonia. Hello, begonia. Oh, there we are. Okay, so we'll work on those. So, how are you doing? I hope today is a good day for you. And if it's not, oops, oh yeah, okay, phew. Thought I didn't have my blotter page, but it's in there already. So if today's not a good day for you, then I hope that tomorrow will be, because tomorrow is another day with a new beginning. For me, I am doing pretty good. I went to the pain clinic yesterday, so I'm full of my shots that keep my pain at bay. So I'm just kind of achy in the shoulders and the hips. So, but I've also been having a lot of aches in my thighs. That's just That's just muscle pain from fibro. But it's like ache. I never really knew an ache, what the true meaning of the word ache, until I started getting this kind of fibro aches and pains. But I'm dealing with it. It's not that bad. I've had worse. And I had my follow-up appointment with the heart doctor, and it was just a phone call. And oh goodness, I got sticky notes all over the place. So it was just a phone appointment, and he said that it was totally reversible, that I didn't have a clot in my legs or anything, so we just had to do something to get the swelling in my calves and feet to go down. So he's putting me on a small dose of a water pill, and he's given me instructions on how to take it, starting with 2 pills a week. Then the next week he wants me to go on to 1 pill a day, and then I'm supposed to go on 1 pill a day until, just a minute, I have to find a blue for this. It's not gonna work. Oh, let's go with 64. Where are you, 64? Yeah, so I take it 1 day, 1 pill every day until the swelling has gone down. And then I switch to 1 every other day, and that should maintain me. Now, if I go through that cycle and the swelling starts up again, then I go back to stage 1 and take 2 every day, then 1 every day, and then 1 every other day. But he said that now that I've started taking them, if let's go for BP3, that if the swelling doesn't go down by the 3rd week, then I need to call his office and they will change the dosage of the pill. But we're starting off with a small one to see if that does the trick. So that's good. I'm glad he's starting off that way rather than starting off with a big dose and gradually lowering it. I think it's much healthier that way too. And he's not a pill pusher, because he saw the cocktail that I was on and he said, you take too many pills as it is, so we're not going that route unless we have to. So that is kind of true. Well, I mean, it is true. I have so many physical and mental ailments that it adds up to quite the cocktail. But it took almost 2 years for them to get me on the right mixture of the right drugs to deal with my mental health problems. So the cocktail that I'm taking right now, I wouldn't want to trade for the world. A while ago I was talking to Mr. Niagara, and I was saying, maybe I should just go off all the pills and just start over again, putting 1 back at a time and seeing if I really need them all. And at first he went, yeah, then he went, no. he said, I don't want you to go back to the way you were. He said, you can't do that. You're not going back to being like that. So yeah, then I remembered what I was like, and yeah, no, not a good idea. So, from a person who wouldn't even take pills like 30 years ago, that's quite a change in my lifestyle, but c'est la vie. So, I guess the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the yellowing that some markers leave on our pages, because after I posted the flip through of the Love Treats by such and such Deva that I completed, and I talked about how that book was just absolutely riddled with the yellowness, because when I did it last Valentine's Day, so I had almost half of the book done. So when I picked it up this year to finish it off, I saw all the yellowing, and I thought, well, I might as well just use my markers that do the yellowing, because the book's a write-off as it is. So I used my yellowing markers. So now every single page in the book is full of the yellow stains, if you want to call them that. So I was asked a lot of questions, and I don't think anybody has solved the problem. But when it first appeared, yeah, we'll go with, I wonder if this one will work. Yeah, that's good. When it first started appearing, and I found it in my books, I started doing a little bit of research, and I was talking to a lot of people when they mentioned that they had yellow, and I also asked for comments from you guys, and I had some comments in the description. I had people contact me through direct mail, and came up with a bit of an answer. So first of all, the conclusion that I came to from all the different answers that people gave me was that what is happening is a chemical reaction, because the markers are not acid free. And those of you who have done scrapbooking will be aware of the necessity for acid-free materials. Now, personally, I haven't scrapbooked, so I never came across that. And in the mixed media world, we don't really care about that, because we use a lot of found papers, and they are certainly not acid-free. And our train of thought is that, who cares if this journal lasts 100 years? I won't be here to enjoy it anymore, so, so what? And, so yeah, so that's what somebody who had a bit of a background in chemistry kind of did a little bit of explaining to me, which, it's, I don't really, I'm not scientifically inclined, but what I came away from that with was that it's a chemical reaction, because the ink in the markers isn't acid-free. And it being done on paper that probably isn't acid-free could cause it to happen faster or darker. But I have no idea whether the Amazon paper is acid-free or not. But pretty sure that the inks in those markers are not acid-free. So So then what happens is that the ink causes a chemical reaction onto the paper that it's touching, and you know, that goes through the sheet of paper onto the next piece of paper. And you know, you can often find that the yellowing is on the next page and the page under that sometimes. Although I've found that it's mostly just on the, you know, like if it was this page, it would be this page my yellowing would be on, but it would go through to the other side, and same with the page underneath. Whoops, get inside the lines there. So that's my conclusion of why and how it's happening. But regardless of whether we really know how or why it's happening, the point of the matter is that we don't want it happening in our books. So I've been keeping track of the brands that I have heard people saying that are not acid-free. So I'll tell you the ones that I've heard, then at least you'll know to stay away from those brands until such time as they can affirm that their ink does not do that. So my own experience was with a couple of brands that aren't that well known, Ojofo and Smart Color Art and Shuttle Art. So those brands yellowed my own pages. From other people's that I have heard, they have said Parku, though I have heard somebody say that Parku claims that they have a new ink which does not yellow your pages. So take that with a grain of salt. Contact Parku and ask them yourself so we can get confirmation on that and know that they're safe to buy again. The other is Arteza Everblend. They cause the chemical reaction. And okay, just a minute, I have to find some hair colors. So let's go with this one. And let's go with, where's Potato Brown? It's 103. So I'm going to have a blonde and a brunette. So, oh, itchy nose, sorry there. So, then I heard recently that it was the Touch Bulls. So those are the ones I know of. If you have a brand that you know stained your pages, then please leave a comment and let the rest of us know. Actually, I had thought when Arteza Everblends first came out, they had the yellowing problem, but I had thought it had been solved because I still see people using them, but only recently someone showed yellowing that they said had been caused by Arteza. So obviously they don't have their problem fixed. And it doesn't happen with all colors. I've found, and from watching, oh sorry, my nose, and from watching other people show their yellow stains, that it comes from colors that have a base of red. So that includes, oh, and there's one I forgot when I telling you about the yellowing. Bic Intensity's black causes it. Not their other colors. Their other colors are perfectly fine, but the black has been reported to leave yellow stains, and I'm pretty sure I have had it happen once. I don't use the black. Like, I hardly use black markers at all, and I've never used the Bic black one, except that I was using it when I needed like a big black liner, and I made some grid pages on, well, on here. I can actually show it to you. Oh, I've ripped out the page. Darn, I can't show you. I ripped out the last page, but this, I drew the grid lines on here with a black Bic Intensity, and I had found that the entire grid had printed itself in yellow on the opposing page. I've since torn that out, so sorry I can't show you. But yeah, so it's colors that have a base of red, so that includes reds, oranges, browns, and blacks. And I would hazard to say that some yellows that are kind of like a reddish yellow, they would too, but probably wouldn't cause as deep of a stain. So that's really all I know and what I have gathered through what I've seen myself and heard. So you can take that with what you will, and be mindful. That's all I can say. Really, my advice is don't buy markers from Chinese companies, and especially ones that you've never heard of. You know, like I had the Ojofos. Well, I had never heard of Ojofo before. I looked around and they had listings. Hey, where is 46? There it is. I saw them. I saw they had listings for different sizes of marker things, so it wasn't just the one listing. But yeah, I hadn't heard of them before, and I got them, and they yellowed. So when I get markers now, well, actually, I did it with all the markers that I had on hand a long time ago. I scribbled some brown and some red onto a piece of white paper, and then I put a white paper on top of that and some colored cards, like thick cardstock on the bottoms, so that it wouldn't transfer through that page. And I set it aside somewhere where it was dark, and I left it for 14 days and picked it up, and you could see with the bare naked eye which ones stained and which ones didn't. But some of them are going to stain right away, like when if you use the marker and then you go and do your flip at the end of the month, you'll see it right away. Others, it actually does take 2 weeks, because that's what happened with one of mine. It took the entire 2 weeks for it to show up. That was the Ojofos, I think. Yeah, and by that point, all of the ones that I had expected could possibly yellow have. So for my own my own decision, let's just say, is I've decided to go with Ohuhu, and that is from a non-American point of view, because America has a few brands which are American-centric and won't sell to international buyers. So we don't have those options. So from the options that we do have, I know that Ohuhu's will not yellow your pages. They're a reputable company. I've got another one of their products that I like, and yeah, I'm happy with them. I will be I got a tester, I got a set to review of the Art X markers, and I'm fairly certain that those don't yellow either, because I know that they are quite widely used in Britain and possibly in Europe. I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. And they also are a proper business with a website and a system for numbering their markers, so they're well invested. ArtX is well invested in their product. And Art Gear Guide, actually, I think most of you will probably subscribe to him because he's always reviewing markers and pencils, and he's a really knowledgeable person. He did a review of the Art X markers, and he gave them a glowing review. So that's good enough for me. So I have put them aside for a yellowing test, but I'm not going to go through with it. It's been a week and they haven't yellowed, and I trust the word of Art Gear Guide and just the company's presentation of themselves. So I'm going to be using those next because I have an 80 set of those. So it's the 80 brush set, actually. So I think I'm just going to go through and do all the shamrocks, and then when I go to color their green clothing, I won't use this one, so there's no duplication. So it'll be a little boring while we color some green shamrocks here. So that is my response to all the questions about that. It's what I know, what I've gathered, and what I've heard and what I've read. So, oh yeah, I was going to thank everybody who responded to my question about the artists that I could possibly do in my monthly artist hashtags. And I got some good suggestions, and I will definitely be thinking about those that were suggested. So if you missed last week, you will probably have realized that I'm doing some hashtags on artists. We did Jen Racine last month, and we are doing Tabitha Barnett this month. Use the hashtag Nikki Reads Tabitha on Instagram or anywhere, and go join the contest that I already told you about. Tabitha gave us a free page from her newest book to color, and those get entered into a random drawing to win a PDF from her. So that's very generous of her, so please show her some love by using her hashtag and entering her contest. So the one thing that I guess I can ask you now is, because I've got a few artists that specialize in one type of coloring, like let's say they did Zen doodly patterns, or they did mandalas, or they did color by numbers. Would you, if you were interested in the work that the artist did, you know, after I'd shown it to you, would you join in a hashtag with an artist who only did one kind of art? So far, I'm trying to stick with people who do a variety of things so that they can appeal to a larger audience of people who'll play along with the hashtag, but you know, like say somebody only did mandalas. There's some people who just don't like mandalas, so obviously they're not going to join in. But I think there's a lot of people who would like, you know, enjoy a mandala every once in a while. You know, they're not crazy about them, but they do them. They have a couple of books and do them every once in a while. Would you join in that kind of a color along if you enjoyed the artist that I presented you with, his work? Or is that just too complicated a question? I seem to explain things and then keep going on. And, you know, I've explained it well enough, but no, I have to keep going on and on and on so that I totally mix up the whole thing and people don't know what the heck I've said. Oh, boy. Yeah, so I'll tell you, I'm going to wash my hair today when I get off here because I could not wash my hair for 2 weeks because my shoulders were so bad that I needed my pain shot. I couldn't lift my shoulders like up above my, well, I mean my arms, not my shoulders. I couldn't lift my arms up until like almost, well, I guess I could lift them up to, I could put my elbow out so that my arm was almost straight with my shoulders, but any further than that was really painful, so there was no way I was getting my arms up over my head to wash my hair. And I'll tell you, I've had Mr. Niagara wash my hair, and that is a rigmarole. It's just, if somebody was filming it, it would probably be something out of a sitcom to watch that going on. He doesn't know anything about what women do. Their shampoo, their conditioner. I have some special dry scalp shampoo, and oh, he's like, more. He always says, "Geez, it's hard to be a woman." Darn tootin'. There, we got all the shamrocks done. Alright, let's find a couple of other greens. I guess I'm kind of not working the way I said I was. Okay, well, let's go with JG2. That's kind of a dark one. Let's go with, what did I have here? 46. Okay. 48, a yellow green? No. Okay, 56 is kind of a turquoisey green. That's hard to say. Turquoisey. Probably because it's not a word. Alright, so I've got dark green and a lighter green here. That should do. Of course, they don't have to 100% be in green, do they? Well, what's the point of dressing up for St. Patrick's Day if you're not in 100%? Well, let's get the yellow green out. That'll have just a little bit of a splash of difference. Oh, it's such a shame that this is, I guess it's the second St. Patrick's Day that we've been in, that we've been in the pandemic. I think we went into lockdown around this time last year, and Ontario is in a lockdown right now that I think we've moved into the red zone. So, well, I know we have because the hairdressers are open. Personal services have opened back up, but I don't believe the stores are open, though that might happen on Monday. I really haven't been getting steady news. I stay away from the news, but my thing likes to give me daily updates on the coronavirus in my province. Whoa, don't need that chisel. And so basically all it talks about is the numbers, because I only read the headlines. I don't go read the article unless I need more information. So it gives the numbers, or it will be more people who are mad at the premier. That's kind of like an American governor, I think. He's the person who kind of like runs the state. He's kind of like the head of our province. I believe that's governor. So the other political parties are always telling him what he's doing wrong. I'd like to see them handle it any better. Actually, our premier here in Ontario has done the best job of any government in Canada, any leader, and that includes I won't voice my opinion on the Prime Minister. Oh, you know what? I think the skirt is part of this. It looks like... Oh no, I guess it's there. Okay. I thought her skirt was wider than her body for a minute there. So, yeah, back to what I was talking about. Sorry, I try to 100% not talk about current events. So sorry for that. So, St. Patrick's Day is not going to be going on at my church, which is called St. Patrick's. And every year for St. Patrick's we have a dance at the church, which is a lot of fun. You know, I haven't been since my health got poor, but you know, I think I would go now at this point. I'm comfortable with my well, disabilities, let's say it. That I wouldn't, it'd be sad that I couldn't dance, though. We used to sometimes go to the Bishop's Ball, too, every year, and I loved that, because I loved dancing. That was my thing. I could go to a dance or a club, or, you know, a club for old people. There's a couple of them around. And I could get on the dance floor and stay there all night. I'd just have to leave to get some water and go to the bathroom. Otherwise, I'd be there, and oh, my husband, he's very, Mr. Niagara, he's very accommodating, and he absolutely hates to dance. And so he, like I said, he hates to dance, but he'll get up with me and he'll dance for a bit. But he has to go sit down because he can't stand being up there all the time I can. And so, you know, I accommodate him, and I will go sit down and sit at the table with him. But I do get up on my own sometimes and dance. But it's all fun because somebody will start dancing with me, or a group of girls will open up the circle and let me in. Because, you know, if there's a bunch of women dancing, we're in a circle, right? And I guess I'll do the skirt the same color, too. See, this is the yellow-green. I'm glad I added it. Yeah, but I certainly do miss those days of dancing. That was my jam, as some people say. I would just say it's my thing. It's my thing. So at the beginning of the week, I had a bit of a scare that turned out to be nothing. But, well, it was Sunday night, and my computer was acting weird. It told me I wasn't connected to the internet, and when I looked, I was. So I'm like, I fiddle around with the internet, turning it off and on. That didn't do anything. It just kept telling me I'm not attached to the internet. So, are those socks or are those her shoes? We'll say they're socks. So I said, all right, let's just reboot the computer and get everything back to normal. So I turned it off, waited my little while, and then, let's give her dark brown shoes, and then turned it back on. And all I got was a black screen. The computer wouldn't boot. It just sat there. Well, actually, it wasn't a black screen. It was a blue screen. And it said, I don't know what it said. It said some kind of programming word on it. Oh, look at that. Light green and brown. They look nice together. I've never done that combination. Brown goes well with so many colors that you wouldn't think. Like for wearing clothes, I really like to wear pink and brown. And purple and brown looks nice too. Wait, no, that's the one I can't use. Alright, here's the one I want. I guess I should get around to doing their skin too, eh? Oh, this isn't what I want it to color, but oh well. So, Mr. Niagara was asleep because it was kind of late at night. So I just had to go to bed, and I left it the way it was, and I thought, well, maybe it's just working and it'll eventually reboot. And hopefully when I wake up in the morning, there will be my screen with Windows ready to go. And I got up in the morning and I still had my blue screen, so I went and told Mr. Niagara, and he's like, oh no. And, I'm like, oh, I can't film anything, I can't upload anything, I can't go to Instagram, I can't go to YouTube, I can't read my email. There's like, so many things that I'm like freaking out about. And he's like, okay, we'll take it in. I'll call our guy. And so he did, and he took it in first thing in the morning, and then hubby went to work, and here I am, saying, okay, don't panic, it's in the shop, they'll fix it. But I have to tell you, we did think that was the end of it, because it's an old computer, and we were looking at the prices of computers and not being too happy about it. But, I'm just thinking it's going to get fixed, so don't worry, you can handle a few days without the internet. Just post a note, just post on the community board, let people know you've got no access to the internet, and blah-de-blah. And so I'm getting myself all prepared for that. And so hubby, Mr. Niagara, comes home, and he's got my laptop under his arm, and I go, oh no, he couldn't fix it. And he goes, no, it's all done, it's fixed, and he gave you extra memory, and he updated your computer for you. And I'm like, what? So yeah, he said the guy had it done in 5 hours, so he ran over and got it and brought it home. So not a scare at all. Now my computer's running really good. It was just, it's been so long since it went in for a tune-up that it needed one drastically. So I don't have to get a new computer. I am stuck with my old one. But it serves me well. I mean, I can't do fancy things on it. I can't do live streaming. I don't have a camera and I'm not set up to... I have a video recorder and I don't know how to set... I can't set that up to record live. So that's kind of, you know, whatever. My situation is kind of old school, except for the camera. Oh, and you're going to have to excuse if you've been noticing I have dry skin on my hands. It's just the weather right now has just given me dry skin like all over. It's not a bad case of it, but it's annoying. I need some... Do I have my hand cream here? Oh, I do. Good. I try to keep some lotion beside me. Looks like this is almost done. Burt's Bees hand lotion in case anybody is interested. There. That helps, but I'm going to have to... It doesn't leave an oily residue, but my markers will slip in my hands, so I have to make sure I get it all off. So, you take that for the bad thing that happened this week. Okay, just let me get my skin tones now. I'm always using the same skin tones because I am trying to use up these Spectrum Noirs and they only have light skin tones. So I was using TN1, but I used that one up. So now I've switched to FS4, but I'm using FS1 for the highlight. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the good thing that happened this week was that Mr. Niagara did the tax return, and we are getting a lot of money back. Woo! Woo! Yay! Part of it is because there's a government refund that's going out to, I don't know if it's just going out to people who qualify for it or if it's going out to everybody, but there is a government refund going out. It has something to do with COVID, so we get that anyways. Plus, he got quite a bit back on his actual taxes too, so it would be really nice to have some of that money to just blow on some coloring stuff, but no, we're not using the money for that. We've got some house repairs that need doing, that have needed doing for a long time, and we are going to cross hopefully 3 of those off of the list as we decided to pick which were the 3 most important, and those are the 3 that we're going with. So yeah, hopefully we'll have the money next week or so. Alright, now, is this guy wearing socks or are those his legs? They're wearing socks, so I suppose they would too. Alright, let's color the pot. Let's see. Oh, actually, we're at an hour now, so how about I do what I said? I'd show you what's in my, I guess I can just leave these here, and I'll show you what's in my coloring bag. Now, I've seen this going around, and it's not actually a tag. Just a moment while I have a sip of my drink. but somebody started it. Who was it? I don't know. I actually have no idea who started it. I'll put their name down below. I'll do a search for the what's in my bag. But that's a common tag that goes through a lot of communities, because I used to do it when I was collecting pens, and in the pen and stationery groups, they always did what's in my bag, or what's in my pencil case. And yeah, so it's a type of thing that goes around to a lot of places. So I'll put who started the coloring version of it going around right now. And I decided that I would participate, but I do not have a bag. I have the top row of one of my carts. You know, the three-tier tart? A three-tier tart. Oh boy. I don't know if everybody knows. That's kind of an old-fashioned word, so I don't know if everybody knows what that means, but oh, that made me laugh. Let's see if I can see it now. A three-tier cart. I have two of them, and one of them, the top part, I always line up with all the books that is going to be my, what do you call it? It's what I'm going to pick from. There's books that I definitely decide I'm going to color in a month, and then there's books I'd like to color out of that month. And I put them all together, and I usually have the whole thing filled up. And I'll let you know what I've got in there. I had my 10 books to finish in there, but Inky and the Ivy oh, I cannot speak now. Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, just hang on a sec while I get this closer to me, is over in that pile. And I finished 2. So there should be 7 in here. Yeah, I've got, let's count them. It's Fall, Y'all. 1. Mandalas for Relaxation. Oh, I've got a couple of others that I've put in my finished pile too, so I think I only have 3. Jade Summer Mandalas, color by number. Yeah, the other ones, yeah, they're all in my finished pile. So, you guys know I finished my Chibi Girls 2-in-1 book, so I've decided I always want to have an ongoing Chibi Girl book. So I've decided to do, volume 1 of April Amber's Chibi Girls. I have a buddy color coming up in this already, and I think I've done, have I done 2 in here or 1? Yeah, I think I've only done 1 in here. There we go. I did this one. And you know what? I think I might have done that all with, what am I trying to say? What did I do those with? Oh, gel crayons. I think it's all gel crayon, like the hair, the background, and this. The bush. They're all done in gel crayon and used with mineral spirits. That's cool. Did this yellow? No. Alright, I have a yellow free book. And then I have the 2 spring books. I have the 2 spring books that my sister gave me. As you can see, this is the one I'm working in, so I actually just did a few pages in it. See, it's got a couple of tags, but keeping it out. Then I do have some books in here that I'm going to have in for the whole spring. One of them is 50 Clover Mandalas. I don't think I'll get to that this month. Then I've got the second volume of Flying Colors that I work in occasionally. Volume 13. I haven't done any this month. I don't think I did any last month. Oh yeah, I did. I should try and get this month's done. And then I am always going to have my current issue of Coloring Heaven in my cart, and I'm going to work in it. I have to make myself work in it at least once, but hopefully during the whole period until I get the next issue. So we're basically an issue behind, or two. Then I have some PDFs that I want to color in for spring. I have, this is Jewels of the Orient by Heather Valentin. This is Spring Scenes by, Spring Scenes by Coloring Book Cafe. I've printed out 3 that I'd like to do. And then this is, I think it's just called Owl Kingdom by Coloring Book Cafe. I can't wait to work on this. I absolutely love owls, and the style is very reminiscent of, well, here, I'll show you one of the pictures I have picked out. The style is very reminiscent of Marjorie Sarnett, except that it's perhaps a bit more geometrical than Marjorie Sarnett. I'm pretty sure, I've never colored her. I do have the owl book, which I keep meaning to color in, but I think she's kind of curly and wavy and stuff, isn't she? And I have a bit of a difficulty doing that kind of art. So I thought if I colored one of these and I found it easy, that I might find Marjorie Sarnett to my liking. So yeah, I've got those PDFs out. Last month I pulled out a Spin the Wheel book, and I've had so much to do I haven't gotten to it. And this is the one that's waiting, Mysterious Planet by Ai Kono. I have last month's Coloring Heaven Discovery Club PDF here. This is by Shannon Valentine. I do have this week's in my printer. So then I have all my Tabitha Barnett books, and I do plan on coloring one picture in all of these before the month is out. So what I've got left is Curious Abodes, Garden Circles, To the Moon and Back, Sea Circles, Meet the Fairies, Floating 3D Mandalas, Mandala Madness, Mushroom Kingdom, and where's the new one? Oh, that's in my box of new stuff. So it's called, what's the new one called? Oh, Gnome for the Holidays. Lisa and I color in this every month, but we're taking this month off. But I have it in here anyways because there was no reason to take it out. So back to the spring books. Is I have 50 Springtime Mandalas, and you know what, guys? I cannot find my 50 Springtime miniatures anywhere, and I've done several out of it. I've done the most out of it than I have of any of the others, and I can't find it anywhere. I have no idea where it can be. It is not on my shelves unless, but it wasn't that long ago that my son helped me move all my books over onto, spread them out between the 2 bookcases. So that reminds me I have to do a room tour for you guys to show you what it looks like now. Let me know down below if you'd like that. Yeah, so it can't be misshelved. Just no idea. Probably won't be coloring in it this spring. Then I thought I'd color in the Celtic-inspired mandalas by Camille Angelkova as well, because March is the month of the Irish, but I'll keep it out all spring. Also, I have Garden Gnomes by Jen Racine out, because spring is for gardens and garden gnomes. And then this is a book I got a while ago. I'm going to try and do a page in that. Looking forward to it. But I'm going to photocopy the pages I want out of here. And then I have the books to start this year, so I'll just call those out. Midnight Masquerade, Hannah Carlson, A Walk in Eden, Mythographic Paradise, Magical Dreams by Miriam Adato, Entangled Forest, Fairy Tales by Emily Lyda Hall Oberg, Jade Summers Light and Dark Fantasy, Adam Fisher, Gods and Beasts, and Joyous Blooms to Color by Ellery Fowler. So that, I also have the Whimsy Girls Celebrate the Holidays, but I've done the 2 pictures for this month. So that is what's in my March coloring cart. So I do give myself a lot to choose from. So there's no way I intend on coloring every single one of those books, but, you know, they're there to choose from. I like to have a lot to choose from, and, like, I've been doing this for pretty close to a year, like, yeah, or even if it could be a whole year that I've been doing this, because it stops me from wandering my shelves, and, like, you know, because I have so many books, you could, or I could literally just walk them and look at books and until I get to the point where I don't want to color anymore. So it stops me from wondering what I'm going to color next. I have enough to choose from, but it's not too much that I can't pick one. So it's worked for me. So, you know, if you have that problem, maybe you could give it a try as well. So guys, I'm going to say goodbye because we're at an hour and 12 minutes according to my camera. And that's about, I'm about talked out. Mentioned everything that was on my little note and a bunch more. So, one thing that I'm going to, no, never mind. That's future stuff. It doesn't matter now. Never mind. Forget I said that. Okay. Erase, erase, erase. Okay. So I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed your stay with me. I have certainly enjoyed my stay with you. I really enjoyed doing this, and I'm so glad that you have joined me. I will see you through the week. I've got some flippin' reviews coming up. I might have something different. It all depends if I get to it this weekend to filming it. But other than that, it will be next Monday when you see me for a color and chat. So take care, stay safe, and bye!